Following the arraignment hearing, Donald Trump lashes out and uses stale methods. Donald Trump, who was facing criminal charges for the first time as a past president, tore from a well-worn page in his script on Tuesday night and resorted to a sometimes xenophobic tirade replete of fabrications and conspiracies. And that really comes as no surprise. Every time Trump has faced opposition, he has turned to a tried-and-true formula. Attack opponents, project a victimized image, try to discredit accusers by raising doubts about their motivations and establishing flimsy guilt by association to suggest potential conflicts of interest. Be as provocative as you can to divert attention, even if it involves inventing conspiracies or false information. It's akin to tossing stuff against a wall to see what sticks. And everything with his base has been Velcro. Trump stated from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida after returning from New York, where he had pleaded not guilty to felony charges of falsifying business records, "I never believed anything like this could happen in America. The only crime I've committed is defending our country bravely against those who want to do it harm." It was, to put it mildly, a weird day. If you watched closely, you might have noticed that Trump comes in two different guises, Court Trump and Rally Trump. A glum-looking Trump entered the courts in New York subtly. With the exception of saying those two remarks, the typically fiery former president let his attorneys speak. According to many there, Trump even remained silent when the judge urged them not to post or say anything inflammatory on social media. This is the same judge, acting Justice Juan Merchan of the New York Supreme Court, whom President Trump criticized on social media for presiding over two cases of felony tax fraud against the Trump Organization. Alan Weisselberg, formerly Trump's chief financial officer, entered a guilty plea as part of a plea agreement. Trump said that Merchan hates me, railroaded, strong-armed, and treated his company viciously toward Weisselberg. Instead of responding in court on Tuesday, Todd Blanche, Trump's most recent attorney, spoke on his behalf. Trump was frustrated, outraged, and believes that there is a major injustice happening with him being in this courtroom today, he said in his statement to Merchan. Judge Merchan later retorted, "I don't share your perspective that certain words and certain speech is driven by irritation." The judge refrained from ordering a gag order but issued a warning about disseminating potentially harmful information that would inspire violence. Merchan commanded the defense attorney, "Speak to your client and anyone else you need to, and tell them to please refrain from making statements that are likely to encourage violence or civil disorder. It is requested that you refrain from saying or doing anything that could instigate violence, spark civil unrest, or endanger the safety or well-being of any person." Nevertheless, without enforcement, suggested protocols are just that, suggestions, like everything else with Trump. Americans rarely witness Donald Trump acting even somewhat intimidated. But it's not unusual to see that side of Trump when he's testifying under oath in court or during depositions. It's one thing to lie in public, on television, or during a speech. That can result in jail time if done under oath. Trump, however, returned to his victimized campaigner persona once he was able to fly out of his home state of New York and back to the welcoming confines of Florida. Trump declared, "Our country is going to hell." He compared the New York accusations to election interference, nothing more. Alvin Bragg, the New York district attorney, should resign, according to Trump. He branded as racist two other prosecutors who are or have looked into him and who are black. Trump has also referred to Bragg as a beast and that Bragg identifies as black. Trump retaliated against Jack Smith, the special counsel for the Justice Department, who was looking into how Trump handled the confidential documents found at Mar-a-Lago. He called him lunatic Jack Smith and followed up by asking, "I wonder what his name was before the alteration." Even the National Archives and Records Administration was referred to as radical left by him. And Trump fed the subservient audience endless falsehoods, obfuscations, and misleading comments. This was more about securing his existing supporters than it was about gaining new ones. Yet therein lays Trump's difficulty: the more negative views independents, and undoubtedly Democrats, have developed about him as a result of his grievance politics. Despite of the strength of Bragg's case against Trump in New York, which many legal experts have questioned, Trump still faces at least 3 further criminal investigations with potentially more significant repercussions. Hence, this case in New York is merely a preview of what the nation may witness and the accusations Trump may face. The case's next court appearance isn't until December. A trial wouldn't start until at least the first of the year, or maybe even later, in the spring. And the emails for donations just keep coming. One case can be easily dismissed, but what about 2 or 3 with potentially more serious charges? As for the Mar-a-Lago obstruction case, Ty Cobb, a former Trump White House attorney, told CNN on Tuesday that there is an F-35 missile-armed weapon being piloted by Jack Smith with Attorney General Merrick Garland as his wingman in D.C. that's going to get off the ground soon, and that will make this look like a water pistol. Trump may be able to persuade his supporters that he's done nothing wrong or that they should accept whatever he may have done, but it's difficult to see how he can win over new supporters in such a setting. And he needs to do it because, over the past 3 election cycles, his brand has become as toxic in battleground states and districts, precisely the locations where Republicans need to win to retake the White House.